Paramount Pictures presents
Your pal, Senor Meek.
Paul Hogan.
Hey, my man, what's happening? Wait.
As Crocodile Dundee.
They used to have movies like Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2 and 3. And those, could you imagine trying to bring that into a movie theater now?
No. I mean, no, it's so funny. They used to take movies like Jaws would do well, and then they'd come out with like 5 movies similar to it. Like, I remember going to see Orca.
Yes. And then there was
Alligator.
Yeah.
Which?
There was an alligator movie, then there was a
alligator
giant
one?
python.
They
rebooted that as the Anaconda series, yeah.
And then they had one with a bear.
This motion picture does not cater to fantasy. You will see nature's most savage man-eating animal. By its size alone, it can overpower and devour any human. Grizzly.
And they said, they advertised it as the deadliest jaws on land is grizzly. And it was the same shit. It was always, we can close this park. We make a lot of money in it. Those campers could have been killed by squirrels, you know.
We're going to need a bigger tent.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever see when Michael Caine got shit for like Jaws 3 or something?
Oh, yes, yes.
Such a great quote. They go, hey, Michael, have you actually seen Jaws 3? He goes, no, I haven't, but I've seen the house that it bought.
And someone said to me, I saw that Jaws 4. He said, it stinks. I said, I haven't seen it. I said, but I've seen the house it bought my mother, and it's marvelous.
That is the perfect answer if someone is shitting on the movie. I just remember him in that helicopter going, get the bloody hell out.
Get out of here, I'll keep it busy. No, it's gonna come to the plane. It's attracted to the electromagnetic impulse of the metal on it. Get the bloody hell out of here.
And I remember the movie, the star of the movie was the sheriff from the first movie's wife.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, oh, that's someone the whole audience wants a movie starring. The sheriff's wife. And then
I love when they build out a character, like they've just made so many that then they're like, all right, fuck it, now you're the lead. I remember seeing just another 48 Hours, and all of a sudden they made Kehoe, this just sort of random character who had a couple of lines in the first one. All of a sudden he was the big guy who double crosses everybody.
That's him. That's the Iceman right there.
Pretty good, Jack. You always were a smart cop.
You know, Ben, I really didn't want to believe it.
It's just like, where the fuck did that come from? There was no build to him. It was just like this big surprise. Like, I almost felt like the writers wrote themselves into a corner. It's like, how the fuck did we get out of there? Well, who's in the scene? There's Eddie, there's Nick Nolte, and the guy who plays Jack Kehoe, or whatever his fucking name was. We'll put it on him.
It's like with every sequel, forgets everything they learned in the previous ones. Like with Jaws, each time they're denying there's a shark.
That's a shark. Look at the outline. Look at the mouth, the eyes.
Is that what it is? Sorry, I just don't see it.
Neither do I. It's nothing.
You know, after like 10 times, you'd have to say, yeah, there is a shark, and yes, we should close down the beach. And absolutely, we need a bigger boat. In the sequels, they'd be going out in a little motorboat to fight the shark.
If you had one interaction with a 25-foot great white shark, you would go nowhere near the fucking ocean for the rest of your life.
Yes, yeah. I'd take a plane off that island, and I'd live in the desert somewhere.
You know what my favorite one as far as not learning from the previous movie was the character Private Hooks in the Police Academy movies. Every episode, she's always this weak mousy, don't move, and then in the end, she would always be like, "Don't move, dirtbag! Don't move, dirtbag!" And the whole place would go nuts that she finally found her voice and was like tough. And then the next movie, she'd be mousy again.
Zip your lips out your butts to the sea, listen hard! That's a lot better.
Yeah.
And, yes.
Am I the only guy that watched all 8 of those?
Oh no, I saw those
in the Death Wish movies, Charles Bronson would always forget at the beginning of the movie that he's a vigilante. And he'd be working a 9-to-5 job, and only until his girlfriend or someone he knows was raped and killed, then he'd remember, oh yes, vigilante, and I go out and kill people.
It was unbelievable. Every single time they got raped and killed. Everywhere he went. And he kept moving to new places. It's like, Charles, how about you don't live in a fucking city? Why don't you try going out in the country this time? At least you can see the rapist coming up your long driveway. You can meet one of those farmers only chicks. They're probably good with a gun.
And it's like when you'd watch the later Death Wish ones, then it was like, will somebody get raped and killed already so he could get into action here?
Oh, my favorite line. I swear to God, that movie was all one takes. Every setup was one take.
Absolutely.
I like when there was such a low budget by the third or the fourth one. I remember me and my buddy used to make fun of this. He came walking up and there's like all these, Puerto Rican kids and shit, like fucking spraying on his V in a white Cadillac Seville, and they were writing all this crap. And he was just like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What the fuck do you care, honky motherfucker?" And then he just goes, "It's my car."
We're still in the fucking car. What's it to you?
It's my car.
Like literally, that was the delivery. It was just like, it's like, are they workshopping this shit?
And in that same one, that was 3. In that same one, my favorite scene is he, of course, gets a girlfriend, and she's in her car, and one of the thugs punches her, knocks her out, and then hits the brake, and she starts rolling downhill and speeding, and the car hits in another car, of course, explodes, and giant flames are shooting up. Bronson walks over and then just turns around and walks away. I mean, not even trying to react, and you could practically, it's like you could practically hear the director go, "Okay, walk, now turn around and come back here." Like they were directing a dog.
And I know that younger people are going like, well, why did you watch all of these? It's like there wasn't a Netflix back then. Like I watched all the Porkies. I watched all the Friday the 13th, all the Death Wishes, all the Police Academies, all the Jaws, all the Freddy Kruegers. And you just be sitting there going, this sucks.
This sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks.
This is... Number 7 is so much worse than number 4, whatever. And you just had nothing to do. There was just nothing to do. You just sat there fucking watching these awful sequels one after another.
And I would watch all the crappy horror films.
If a man and an ant were exposed to radiation simultaneously, the result would be terrible indeed. For the result would be Mant.
Like the zero budget, all the slasher films that had their own, they weren't Friday the 13th or Halloween. They were their own, each one was making same exact plot in each one. Something bad happened years ago. Now, 10 years later. and it's always like, if you had sex in the movie, you were dead.
You can never have sex.
Big no-no! Big no!
I'm a dead man.
Keep him in popcorn. Sex equals death, okay?
Oh yeah, that was a big one. Anybody
Yeah.
who had sex was dead. Anybody taking a shower was dead. Anybody going to check something out.
I'm gonna go check the garage real quick.
I'm gonna go check that out.
Oh, another person who dies in those, if you make a joke, if you're a jokester, and you're laughing at it when other people are scared, then you're the next one to go.
You're not even scary. You're not even scary.
You actually get a worse death. You get an extra bad death for not believing in this stupid character that they came up that they're gonna milk for another 6 movies.
I remember there was one, I forget the name of it, like, you know, the Impaler, the Slicer, something like that. And I always loved the blurb for it on the poster, the slogan, and it said, by knife, by axe, by pick, bye-bye. And I always love the slogans on the posters.
Shark still looks fake.
Yo, she say I look appealing, I'm a crook. See me dealing, you don't spit it. How I'm feeling, cause I'm at it every minute. Reinventing what you started, up and ready like hydraulics. My adrenaline when I'm on it got me pedaling for my profit. It go back, 4 stack dough. I'm accurate with that dough. Underground, been producing crazy mad flow. These bars branded, I go harder and y'all stranded. It's like the panic, the pages survive the harsh landed. We on a win streak every time we bring heat. Getting everything we earning, boy, this shit's